Hello all, welcome to my Informatica training channel. Today I am going to show you how to create a mapping and a workflow, how to run a workflow and monitor workflow run. We have a source file retail_sales.dat. It's a CSV file and it has 20 records, and first line of this file is header information. Header information says about different column of the file. Header information inside the dat file should be ignored at the time of loading. We have a target as sales table in training database. We have to load the record from retail_sales.dat file to sales table available in Oracle training database. I have already opened Informatica Power Center Designer and logged into it. I have created already source structure and I have also created target structure. If you want to know how to create source and target structure in Informatica, then you need to watch my previous training videos. In this section, I will show you how to create a mapping logic to extract data from source and load into target. Go to navigator window, select the source by clicking left mouse button and hold the left mouse button, and then take the mouse pointer to mapping designer workspace. See, the mapping pointer shape is also changed. Now release the mouse button. It will prompt me to enter a valid mapping name, so I am typing m_first_sample as my mapping name. Then click OK. See, source and source qualifier has been created in the mapping designer. Whenever you drag a source to mapping designer, source qualifier is also automatically created. Source qualifier is a placeholder of source records inside Informatica mapping. Now I will select the target structure and hold the left mouse button and then drag the mouse pointer to mapping designer workspace. See, shape of the mouse pointer is also changed. Now release the mouse button. I'll close the navigator window. Now I will arrange the target structure also. It is time to connect the ports in between source qualifier and target. Select the first port from source qualifier and hold the left mouse button, and then drag the mouse pointer to first port of the target structure. See, mouse pointer shape is also changed. Now release the mouse button. Same way, select the second port from the source qualifier using left mouse button and hold the mouse button, and then drag the mouse pointer to second column of the target. See, mouse pointer shape is also changed. Now release the mouse button. So first two port has been connected in between source qualifier and target. I can connect ports one by one in between source qualifier and target, or else I can connect all the ports of source qualifier and target. To show you how to connect all the ports in between source qualifier and target, I will use remaining ports. So click the third port of source qualifier, then hold shift button in the keyboard and then click last port in the source qualifier. Again take the mouse to the third port and click mouse button and hold the mouse button, and then drag the mouse pointer to third column of target structure. See, mouse pointer is also changed. Now release your left mouse button. Now all the ports in between source qualifier and target has been connected. Mapping is ready now. Mapping tells the logic of how to extract data from source and load into the target. It says about the relation in between source and target columns. That means which column of target will be populated from which source column. Mapping also talks about source and target structure. It does not talk about actual source and target location. In the workflow, we set the actual source and target location. We use workflow to run a mapping. As you know, our mapping is ready now, so I am going to save the mapping using Ctrl S. Mapping is saved and valid. I will create a workflow now. Now I will go to Workflow Manager tool. I have already opened Workflow Manager and logged into it. Workflow Designer is already selected in the Workflow Manager tool. Click Workflows in the menu bar and then click Create. It will prompt me to enter a valid workflow name. So I am typing wf underscore first underscore sample. Automatically one integration service is selected. My environment has single integration service, that's why this integration service is automatically selected. If you have multiple integration service, then you can select one integration service from multiple integration services from drop down list. I'll click OK. My workflow has been created with a single task. This task is called start task. Whenever you create a workflow, always a start task is created by default. No workflow can exist without start task. To run a mapping with the help of workflow, we need a session task. Session task only can run a mapping. No other task can run a mapping. Click the session icon and take the mouse pointer to Workflow Designer workspace. See, the mouse pointer shape is also changed. Now click in the workspace. It will prompt you to select a mapping to associate with this session task. I choose m underscore first underscore sample. A session has to run a mapping, so it must know which mapping it has to execute. That's the reason we need this association. I will click OK. Session is created now. Now I have to create a link in between start and session task. So go to menu bar, click task and then click link task. See, mouse pointer shape is also changed. Now click on start task and then drag the mouse pointer to session task. Now release the mouse button. Link is created now. Click on the session task once. See, again we get back the arrow mouse pointer. Our workflow is successfully created. We have to configure session task with source and target location. I double click the session task. Session is open now. Go to Mapping tab. Click on the source. See, source is file reader. So I have to set the location of source file. I'll click the side scroll bar. I will set the location of source file directory. So I type C:/training. My source file is available in this directory, that's why I have set this directory. Now select the target. Target is database table, that's why relational writer is chosen. Now I have to set this connection value. So I'll click the down arrow and set the training database. Click OK. My target is under the training database. Along with that, I will set target load type as normal from bulk. Again I will scroll down and select truncate target table option as set. Meaning of this option is before the loading records to target, Informatica will truncate the target. We do so since we don't want to see the data which is already loaded into the target prior to our run. I will click apply, then click OK. So our session is configured correctly. So it is time to save the workflow. I save the workflow using Ctrl S. My workflow is valid and inside into the repository database. My workflow is ready to be executed now. Now it is time to run the workflow. So I will right click on the session and then click Start Workflow from Task. My workflow is running. My workflow run is completed successfully now. So I'll click right on session and then go to Get Run Properties. I'll minimize these task details by clicking down arrow and then click the source and target statistics related side arrow. So here is the stats. 20 rows read from source file and loaded into target table. Now it is time to verify dataset in database table. I have already logged into the training database using SQL Plus. You can use Toad also. I'll write this select query and then press enter. So 20 records has been loaded into the target. Let me copy into the notepad. So these products has been loaded into the sales table inside the training database. In this training class, we have covered how to create mapping and workflow, and then how to run a workflow and see the running status using monitor, and we verify the run stats from the monitor run informations, and finally we validate the target table data using SQL Plus. That's all for now. If you want to take training on Informatica Power Center, then please don't hesitate to drop me a mail to informatica.training007@gmail.com. Thanks for watching this demo class.